Yeah, don't drop your phone.
Deb in the hot tub.
Is your phone waterproof?
Mine's outside. I'm not
We're
going
we're having our weekly meeting.
I like that. I'm not getting into my hot tub in the daytime.
March 3rd,
Sunlight's gonna be
2017.
turned off.
Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone. And Deb in the hot tub.
There you go.
Where's your phone?
You know how to close
I'm holding my phone. I'm holding it up. I better not drop it or I'm in trouble.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
Wow, that is so awesome. I love it.
That's a Friday afternoon, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's the ultimate happy hour in a hot tub.
Friday afternoon on the East Coast.
In a meeting.
We do this every day. We always have our meetings, about 5, 6 o'clock in the hot tub every day.
Yeah, I
There
like
you go.
And then, of course, we have our morning meetings, too, about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my goodness.
We have a lot of hot tub meetings.
Totally awesome.
Oh my gosh, that's
We're
great.
going to start with Joanne. She's going to tell us a fun new app that she's playing with today.
Yeah, it's nothing. Well, it is kind of business related, I guess. You could use it for business purposes if you want to. But one of my clients was talking to somebody the other day while I was meeting with her. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have to Marco Polo somebody." And I'm like, "Huh?"
Huh?
She's like, "Marco Polo." I'm like,
Like
What's
don't go
that?
Underwater or what?
so yeah, Marco
It
Polo.
would be perfect for Deb today.
Yes.
So if you've seen any of the apps that are more like where you can talk to somebody and like push a button and it's like a walkie-talkie, like they can actually get your voice in real time. It's one of them that I use is called Boxer, where you can do that. Well, Marco Polo is the same theory except for it's video. So, and you can actually bring multiple people into a group and you can actually like video and it kind of goes in line. Like if we were all inside of a Marco Polo and if Gina talked and then Tina talked, Tina messaged and like you could watch it all in the order that they actually came through during the conversation. But it's really cool because it has like fun filters, like it has like filters similar to like Facebook. And like I'm hooked to the filters that I use is like, I don't know if you can see it, but it kind of makes me look like I'm a cartoon.
Oh,
You look like a little kitty.
So what I did was I set it up so like Janine, my staff is on it now, so I can send them a quick video message or whatever through that. It's just something different to kind of play around with to communicate with people, I guess. But my clients like, would you mind? So we've been having like a conversation back and forth a lot better than, how sometimes when you try to text something to somebody, that's why I liked Boxer because I hate typing. And I like just being able to say blah, 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 and get my point across. Same thing with like the video. It's like you actually can sit there and explain yourself a little bit better by the intonation of your voice or your expression on your face. And so a lot of times conversations can go along a lot better by using that type of thing. The other idea that she uses it for mainly, and this is just something, again, knowing these apps that can potentially help your customers or clients be able to operate their business, is she happens to be one of the LuLaRoe consultants who is way high up. So she has a team that she has to watch over, that she has to mentor and stuff like that. And they have a group, Marco Polo, where she can, in the morning, she can send a message out to the whole team and say, "Good morning, guys, blah, 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 blah," and then give them, like a goal to do for the day or whatever. And then if anybody has questions, they can comment back and video back and forth to everybody. So she kind of uses it as like a team building experience. Probably very similar to something that you would do like maybe like on a Slack team or whatever, but this is totally, it's totally mobile and it's on the phone and it's just all straight with video. You can actually like type text over your video if you want, but I think the only downside that I see to it, like with Voxer is audio, text, and you can send a picture. So it's basically like a true messaging software back and forth, whereas this is just straight video.
Can you record
like
it?
chatting.
Probably not. I don't think so. I mean, they're inside there. I mean, you could get a screen recording software if you wanted to, and probably screen capture if you really want to.
You can
They
actually,
download
you can
them.
actually go back and watch
But they're
those.
always in here. Your past conversations are always in there to be able to listen to.
Oh, awesome. And I see Brandon is driving once again and has joined us.
He's headed to Alabama, aren't you, or no? Not yet.
I'll be headed to Alabama tomorrow. I've got a wedding to do tomorrow, and then I'm headed to Alabama
How long are you staying?
How much?
until the 31st.
Till the 31st. Okay, awesome. So Joanne, would you do us a favor and put the website for the Marco Polo?
I don't know if it's a website. It's an app.
What's the name of it?
Marco Polo.
Oh, okay.
And you add people. It looks like this. Let me just show you what it looks like. It looks like it's got the beach ball.
Oh, cool.
So if you look at it, it's got, I don't know if it's.
I see that.
But it basically looks like an beach ball if you search it in your app store. And you find people by, if they're in your contacts with their cell phone numbers, you can add them on Marco Polo, or you can send people invites through like Messenger and stuff like that. But the easiest way to find somebody is if you have their cell phone number, because they'll automatically come up.
Got it.
So it's an app and you're using Samsung?
I'm using Android, but it's on iPhone. It's cross-platform.
I'm downloading it now.
Bye. So Brandon, did you say you use it?
A customer.
You use it?
I use it, and I've got a couple clients on it.
You use it. Here's my cell phone. If anybody wants to add me as a contact in their phone, and then if they download the app, then they can connect with me.
Cool. Awesome. Okay.
Keep it on the down low.
Yeah, no, I'll just make sure that I only copy
I
the
recognize that
links and
area
not that.
code.
315 represent.
Well, you know, they have the same area code, I think, up in Canton, New York.
Well, you know what? This is something that's kind of interesting that just happened to us recently. They announced that they're adding another area code.
Did they lay it on top?
And what we have to do now is that everybody in our area, we have to do an area code now.
Yep.
So if I was to call my husband's cell phone, I have to dial 315. It has to be, my phone book is 315. Otherwise, it won't get to him because there's another area code in our area.
Right. They started doing that out here in Southern California. My God, mine changed 3 different times from 714 to 909 to 951. And they finally said, you know, this isn't going to work. We got to just lay them on top.
Yeah.
Like a layer cake.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Okay, so changing subjects, we're going to go to Tina now. It's been a while since Tina's been with us. Tina wants to tell us about her is it an app or is it a program?
It's an app and a web forum. So what we did is I've got a few nonprofit clients, and I've got one that's a church, and they were trying to figure out a way to get some electronic giving options out there for some of the millennials that are coming. And so I explored a bunch of different apps and kind of settled on Tithely, which is spelled TITHE.ly.
Like you tithe.
And then
to the
.ly,
Right.
which is also the website. So it's all cool. You can go to their, type in the address, and you can just make a donation to, your church or whatever nonprofit organization that uses it. They make it very easy. You can, search. You can do by location. They have lots of little options. So it's a really cool function. And they also have, for Android and also on iOS. So it's cross-platform. They can use it as a kiosk in the church. You don't even have to create an account. You can just, come up to a little tablet and key in your information. You can do credit card, debit card, bank account. There's just lots of options.
What's the name of it again? So we can, because my church might be interested.
Here, I'll type it in here, but it's TITH.
We actually also have golf tournaments at one of my charities, and I've got to decide whether to get the PayPal thing to go on the phones, or maybe something like this might work well.
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty simple to use. You search it in the app store of your, choice, and download it, create an account. If it's going to go on your phone, you're going to have to create an account because you want the privacy to contain all that information. So it's kind of cool. Yes, Sarah's typing as I'm talking. That's current. It's
So
2.9%.
is current the name of the app?
No, Tidely.
I'm not getting that. I don't know.
Okay,
It's in the chat.
Look in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tidely. Got it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the fees associated with it, it's 30 cents per transaction for debit, credit, and ACH. There's 2.9% on credit card, 1% fee on bank account. There's no monthly charges. There's no contracts, no setup. It's really nice. So,
And you told me before that whoever is donating can choose to actually
absorb the
accept
fee.
absorb those charges in their, when they're giving, like, I'll just say $10, whatever the charge is, the 30 cents plus whatever percent, on their bill, it'll come off as 10.25.
1061. Yeah.
10.51.
Yeah, so it's very nice. So one of the things that Tidely does not do is it does integrate with church software, like the actual, if you were looking at some of the church-specific modules, they integrate with several of those. They do not integrate with QuickBooks, but you can export to a CSV file, which, cool, I can handle that. So what I'd like to do is import those transactions into QuickBooks Desktop, which my current client was using. So in one of the user groups, I went out there and said, hey, what's a good program? I already figured it'd be, Transaction Pro Importer, because it's just a bomb as far as programs go. But I wanted to ask to see if there was something new, out there that was, the hip new thing to go for. Everybody resounded in, yeah, get Transaction Pro Importer. It's the best thing since sliced bread. So I went ahead and downloaded a copy and did some testing in one of the QuickBooks test companies just to kind of play with it, see how it's going to go. Seemed to work great. The one roadblock I had was most of the folks that are using it are actually absorbing the transaction fee, which is really sweet, and very, very grateful to those folks doing that. But for those that aren't doing it, I need to be able to capture that fee so that it can offset the deposit total to be a net. So the donation would be the gross total of, say, $10. And then the fee, which would be less that, 61 cents, would need to be captured as a Tidely fee expense on the church books, so that the net deposit rather shows properly when it posts on the statement. And that's the one feature that I haven't been able to figure out yet playing with Transaction Pro Importer. It's a really great, easy tool to use. I mean, I downloaded it, I installed it, I figured it out in like 5 minutes. So it's super easy to use, and I just love it.
Do they use items?
Yes.
So could you have an expense item?
Yeah. So
for the charges?
I wouldn't do it that way.
So I'm trying to figure out what the best solution is. So I'm kind of hoping y'all can just chat it up and see where we go from here.
Well, Sarah, what way would you do it?
I would use a clearing account.
Yeah,
I would have any money that hits the bank account, just the grand total going to the Tidely clearing account, and then have import the sales receipts to the clearing account, and you should be able to get some sort of monthly reports maybe or some sort of transaction register or something from Tidely, so that you can test it and just journal. It'll be out of balance, the amount of the fees, and journal it once a month, and you're done. I do that with,
So let me just make sure I got it in my brain right. But set up a Tidely clearing account,
like another current liability,
other current asset, or a bank account.
So import the gross figure into the clearing account.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever
hits the bank, put it.
Well, whatever hits the bank is just net.
Clearing into the bank account when it goes.
Right. So
the end of the month it should be zero. That's very much, Sarah, isn't that like what we set up in my account with the clearing account?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
Deb uses those a lot too. Is Deb still with us?
I'm here. Yeah.
You are the clearing account, POS clearing account person too.
Okay, what do you want to know? I clear account everything.
No, clearing accounts are wonderful for real simple, and don't they all basically go in minus out equals 0?
In the perfect world, yes, but it's
Yeah,
never a perfect
I
world.
understand that. We have another account for the adjustments called
Adjustments.
reconcile AR to Oak Street.
So in essence, one side of the entry is the bank side.
Right.
Bank account goes up on the deposit. The other side is the clearing.
Right.
It's a credit. You don't know why you have the money. And then if you can get a comma delimited file from Tidely to then import sales receipts to capture your item codes or whatever else you want to do,
Right.
that'll start debiting that account. And then you're out of balance your fees.
Yep.
Okay.
You want to test it back to the Tidely report so that you don't just fudge it.
Oh, no, it wouldn't be a fudge because it breaks it out really nice and neat. It shows what the
It's
gross.
just you don't have to put each one in. I mean, it's like even with the PayPal fees, sometimes I'll just go throw it in PayPal
Right.
and then get my reports and say, okay, here's all my revenue. Here's what I should have gotten in PayPal, and here's what my fees were, and it clears the clearing.
Because basically what I want to do is I want to pull down 2 separate CSV files. One of just donations where we don't have to deal with the service fee associated. Those will just be the net donation is what we got in, which is going to equal the gross for us.
Yeah.
And then a second CSV file for those who did not absorb this.
You don't even need to do that. Get
You
them
don't
all.
need to do that. Just do them
Get 'em
all
all.
into the clearing account. Don't
Okay.
make it more confusing than you need to.
Right.
Okay.
If they all go through, some of them won't have credit card fees. That's fine.
Right.
Okay.
They'll be the
You're
easy
not
ones.
doing it one by one by one. You're doing
Yeah,
it
but-
lump sum for some time period.
Yeah, I do need to differentiate which accounts some of those go into because they're designated. So one may be a pledge, one may be a general donation, one may be to a
Well,
fund.
is that part of your
on
setup
your
at
sales
Tidely where you set up codes and things like that?
Yeah.
You set those up to match up with item codes and
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. Bless you, whoever that was.
That was
Yeah.
Hal. He's in the hot tub.
Bless you, Hal.
Okay, how come we don't get to see Hal?
We've seen Hal before.
Oh, okay. Oh, hi, Hal. Oh, you have 2 separate hot tubs, or you're out of it now?
What?
Yeah, she's out of it.
I went out. I was too afraid I was going to drop my phone.
I'm going like, God, that's the biggest hot tub I've ever seen.
Yeah, here's our. Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Don't
No,
stand up.
because
And that's inside the house, right? Or
It's on the porch. Here's the porch.
are you under a porch?
oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's our porch.
Just to keep all
We
the
never
bugs
did cover
out.
ours.
I live in Florida.
Yeah. So there's the house. That's the door into the house.
All right.
There's our clothesline right there.
Yeah.
Yes,
We all have one of those, don't we?
And here we have a TV out here too. Can you see the TV?
Yeah.
There's a TV. So we watch TV out here all the time.
So you've
Oh, I
started
love that.
your
Hi,
weekend
guys.
early.
Huh?
Started your weekend early.
We're always on vacation, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's their life.
I tell you what, if you really love what you do, and we do, we
Yeah.
never feel like we're working.
Good.
You know,
Love
So,
that attitude.
it's fun. So we have an extra room, so anybody that ever wants to come visit, you're welcome.
Oh, thank you, Deb.
Same here, except
Yeah,
I'm
we may call you on that, Deb.
That's a
That's
deal.
right.
That's a deal. I'd love to have company.
Now you're north of Miami, but south of.
Well, if you watched the 500 last Sunday, we're about 5 miles from the track.
Okay. And that's in Daytona Beach.
Yeah, we're actually in Port Orange, which is just south of Daytona and north of New Smyrna Beach, and just across the river from Ponce Inlet. So if you like lighthouses, look for the Ponce Inlet Lighthouse, and pretty much if you just go out to the big road, you can see that from the street.
Awesome.
We can see the launches from the Cape in the backyard. You know,
Cool. That's awesome.
it's fun. You know,
So back to Tina. Tina, did we answer your question? Do you have a
Yeah,
plan?
thank you very much. I think I'm good to go.
Cool.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
So-
once you see how a clearing count works, it's like you go, oh, I could use it here. I could use it. People do it a lot for payroll.
Yeah, I use
POS systems too, if they're not syncing, or
Yeah,
sometimes
I
even
use,
if they are.
Now, are you going to put this in QBO or are you going to use desktop?
no, it's a desktop account.
Good.
Put it in QBO.
No, this client's not on QBO.
Put it on. Change them.
No, it's not a good fit for this client. You have to trust me on that because I move everybody I can to QBO. I love it.
As the generations start growing up and start going into different positions, then you may change your mind. No. Okay.
It's just not a good fit for this client. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
So
You know your client.
I got a handful of clients that QBO just doesn't work for. This is one of them.
So let's talk to Sarah and her smart sheets.
Okay. I have been looking for accounts payable automation. We all know about Bill.com. Everybody knows Bill.com. The problem with Bill.com is because of their minimum fees per client, it just knocks out all the little guys. So I really want to stop checks, finding signatures, making copies, scanning those puppies, stuffing, stamping, mailing, I'm done.
So
okay?
all of
Okay,
that.
now let me stop there for a minute. You just mentioned a lot of tasks that take a lot of time.
Yes.
And I get the minimum
Oh,
fee
I know
part
what
with
you're going to say,
Bill.com.
but no. I'm talking about clients who might do 3 bills a week.
Right.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
I can't justify $50.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so they charge $30 a QuickBooks file plus every user plus me plus the fees. Okay, that's before we even get to fees. So I want to be able to offer it. I don't care how many bills you have. Okay,
So
so
you just didn't find what you wanted out there in any of the
oh, I found them, but here's
apps? They were all way.
well, and I just don't like Bill.com. Bill.com's user interface is clunky. I have a lot of complaints. It's just, I'm so slow in Bill.com. We are so fast in desktop. So,
Man, I'm a whiz in that Bill.com.
bleh. So,
Maybe you need to hire Deb.
Yeah.
so anyway, because of, I'm in love with the idea. I'm in love with the technology. So I just wanted to see what was out there. So so I just, somebody called with a demo and I'm like, okay. And next thing you know, I'm watching 15,000 demos. All right. I will share my screen so you can see my okay, so share my screen. My desktop 2, share, and then what do you see? Do you see smart sheets?
Yes, we do.
All right.
Wow.
So what I've done
Look at that.
is-
Awesome.
what I've done is
Whoa.
yeah. Well, most of these that keep going to the right, they end up just being for ERP, just
Got it.
too big, too. So really, what it came down to was Bill.com, MineralTree, and Beanworks.
Got it.
Those are it. This XT bills, I'm going to look at them. They just had a name change, and it's a little. I don't know. I'll talk to them. I have a demo coming up for them next week.
You'll have to let us know how you liked it.
Yeah. So
Pluto?
what I did. So if you're on our group, I can just give me your email and I'll let you have access to this. So I start putting in their email addresses. I've got some clients going to Intact, so I want to see if it went to Intact. So right off the bat, Beanworks was knocked out. I'm in love with Beanworks.
Oh, good.
Mineral Tree's a close second. So when were they? I found it. I added this row just recently, so I finished this. Where are they? Does it support? I think Joanne, first thing she says, does it support AR2? Bill.com does. The rest of them really don't.
Well, look at that, beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. They have a dashboard. They wrote this thing for accountants.
Who did?
Beanworks.
Who wrote it for accountants?
Beanworks.
Beanworks. Okay.
So their interface is amazing. You see your client name, your company name, then all your clients. Each client has their own inbox, just like Bill.com, where your email bills in, dragging and dropping, doing the phone, whatever. But what it does is, depending on how these documents come into Beanworks, it goes ahead and it knows which client it belongs to. I can assign bookkeepers to different clients, so all they see are their clients, but they can go to one inbox and see every bill for every client. And it already has client name, their chart of accounts, their QuickBooks information. The good side and the bad side with them is all of these companies offer, what do we call it? A data entry team. They're either scanning it, like everything that came in by 5, by morning, it'll all be in, that don't touch, we're going to key your payables for you idea. They don't OCR. They have a team in Colorado.
Could actually do it and look at the trend.
They're human beings reading your bills.
You're not doing that intelligent.
So they're more expensive because they, like Mineral Tree, let me, say, no, I don't want your OCR feature. I don't want that service. Just let me do my payables. Let me interface, and I'll handle payables from here. They key them in, and what they do is they key them in. If the vendor doesn't exist, they just skip the vendor. They key in everything that they can figure out. So it's pretty much done when you come in the morning. So that was very interesting, the way that the bookkeepers can step back and just handle everybody's accounts payable without going in and out and in and out and in and out. Two-way sync, Mineral Tree is the only one that does two-way sync. Two-way sync means I can do my accounts payable in QuickBooks if I choose to, and not go up in the cloud and do it in their program. Or I can go in the cloud and do it in theirs. The benefit of that is anybody that has point of sale. Because my point of sale clients, all the bills are coming in from the inventory system, from the point of sale system. So Mineral Tree is the only one that'll work with them at all. I have a problem with Beanworks in that Bill.com and Mineral Tree, once it gets to QuickBooks, if I'm reviewing like 3 months, 6 months, a year later, and I find something and I want to change it, it doesn't go back and change the information up in the payable system. I don't like that. She says, well, you can put a note. I'm like, yeah, if I remember to go put a note. Because all of these programs, I want to give access to the auditors. So I look for things like unlimited users. Bill.com dinged me. I had 3 auditors on an audit with 2 QuickBooks files that crossed over month end. And I had to pay for every user for 2 months per client.
Wow.
But if they're on wholesale, it's $5 a user.
I know, but I'm just saying it's nickel dime, nickel dime, nickel dime. So, and I had to remember to turn it off, and I had, and then, so anyway, so I'm looking for unlimited users, unlimited, well, here, let me see. Interface is beautiful. Does it work with desktop? Pluto I keep hearing about is QBO, and doesn't have an approval process. It's pretty much an online bill paying But what I'm looking for is a whole audit trail of approvals. Big downside of Bill.com is they use a settlement account. So when you do a payables run, first of all, I can put in all the bills in the morning, get approved at 1 o'clock. Bill.com's not touching it to the next day. Then they draft all the money out of our account. Then they process all the bills through their bank accounts. So while that's a good angle for less fraud, the turnaround time is not really optimized. So the rest of these services, the checks clear when the checks clear. They're pretty much like using your banking online bill pay. It's just the middle guy. He's the document management and approval process in between you and the bank.
Right.
The client dashboard is lovely.
How much does this cost? What's the cost difference?
Yeah, the cost. Well, okay. So the cost difference, I figured out under 40 bills a month. It's about neck and neck with Bill.com. Well, once you hit 40 bills, it's the same as Bill.com. If you have less, Bill.com's more. Once you start creeping over that 40, Mineral Tree is more expensive, but it's worth it until you get to about 120 bills, and then it gets hard to justify the price difference between Bill.com and Mineral Tree.
And what about Beanworks?
Beanworks, because they force you to pay for their data entry team, you're paying $325. Now I was looking at this as one bill to one check. If you have a client that's like lots of bills and then one check, that really helps. The ACH really helps. And then I look at things like Bill.com forces your vendors to join Bill.com in order to get ACH. And then they're being marketed, okay? Mineral Tree, because we're not getting into that. If you've got the routing number and their account number, you can put it in. I don't really like that. Beanworks has a vendor portal that you can invite them to the vendor portal. The vendor handles their confidential information, and then they work with the ACH. So different concept between all of them.
That sounds like Bill.com. I don't understand how it's.
Well, Bill.com, you have to join Bill.com and have a Bill.com account in order to get ACH. And here's the number one reason I'm leaving Bill.com is because I had a corporation and I sent them an invite for the ACH. They accepted it as a individual and linked it to a personal bank account. And it came back and changed all my vendor records. And I caught it, but she who is like W-9, nuts. I couldn't believe that was even an option, without some sort of warning, at least. But so when it links up our Bill.com to their Bill.com, then they become, I think the selling point is if they change their address or like that, they just change their Bill.com and it magically shows up in your records. But I need to be able to control that a little bit more. So anyway, you can look. It's in Smartsheets. I've got Canada's coming. Beanworks is in Canada. Just everybody had a special email where you can forward bills right in. Bill.com works with HubDoc. What else is important? Onboarding themselves. Turnaround time. Support is important. Oh, what's cool about, another thing that's cool about Beanworks. When you have a bill, you can go into the bill and then split the bill. Mm-hmm. And they all have some sort of smart coding. If you've coded to that vendor before, it's going to say, hey, this is where it was before. Do you want to, so that speeds you up. This one, you can put in percentages. You can say, take the bill,
nice.
do percentages by customer, by class, and it allocates. That's pretty cool.
I have a question.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Bill.com's been around a long time. I mean, about 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
Are they getting kind of dated with their technology compared to the new
I
people?
think so, and their user interface is really behind, but they know it. If you talk to them honestly, they'll go, "Yeah, we know." So I can't imagine it's going to stay that way. And they did have an update within the last couple of months that
Yeah, you would think market pressure would force them to do some changes.
Well, they really haven't had any competition.
Oh,
I mean,
So now
Bill.com's been it if you're in the QuickBooks world.
okay. So now they're getting some competition from these new companies.
So now what I'm doing is I'm I keep telling Beanworks what MineralTree's doing and MineralTree what Beanworks. I'm like, hey, you got to step up. And I haven't made a decision yet. Here's the other expensive thing: onboarding. Bill.com doesn't charge us for onboarding. MineralTree, cheap. I got him down to $250. Beanworks wants $500. So
You have to pay them just to
join.
Oh,
How big are these companies like MineralTree and Beanworks?
Pretty good side. They've been around for a while.
Okay.
I was really comfortable with these three. Some of them over here, like who was it? Bill, like Stampley is supposed to be one, but I'm like, I was able to get in the back door of their website and find all the pages.
oh no!
I'm
Oh my
like,
goodness!
stay away from those.
Did you
people.
look at Checkbook.io? Do you have that up there?
Checkbook.io, we had looked at. It's a whole nother concept, but it's mainly paying your bills online and
No approval process.
no approval process. So it depends on what you're looking for. If you're just trying to get rid of printing checks,
No, I was just thinking Checkbook.io would be good for the smaller clients.
little clients, and they knew that they were too expensive, and they said they would match other. I mean, they were real. Just talk to them.
Does like MineralTree and Beanworks have the same kind of segregation of duties and approval process and that kind of stuff?
User roles.
Okay.
All three of these have beautiful user roles. I like the way Beanworks is like, you have the entering area, and then you have the processing, which is it's coding, approving. You can have multiple people doing different kinds of things. And then you've got the release payment. And they're all basically the same, but the screens are different colors, so you know where you are. I mean, it's just somebody put a lot of thought into flow and the way things are keyed in, and it's pleasant to look at. Whereas it's not like Bill.com. If I have an invoice and has 5 pages, I'm having to grab a mouse and go click, click, click instead of just scroll.
Right.
Little things like that can make a difference.
And your Beanworks gives a discount to nonprofits.
Yeah, they give 10%.
Nice.
10%. And then we were looking at, and I'm like, well, all right, forget all that. What if I just want to, sell it? So we're all looking into, I'm still looking into the affiliate links. It's always another department. MineralTree give you $100 finder's fee. Basically what Smart Sheets does, I think. So, what I wanted was a user role where I could pay the bills, release payment, but only if approved, and that there's audit trail on there only if approved. One of them, but MineralTree failed on the multiple page PDF big time. Don't do it, because I have some clients that will scan all their bills for the week, and I get
right, exactly.
PDF. And Bill.com and MineralTree, Beanworks was no problem. You go this page 1, 2, 3, Bill.
Right.
So Beanworks is gonna key it all in for you. I mean, unless it comes in the morning, you have to get it out that day. Oh, you know what else Beanworks does? You can put in the bills, but it will not sync to your accounting unless it's at least approved. The coding's approved.
Oh, okay.
Bill.com and all that, it goes in.
Right.
Do they have chat support? I mean, that's what I usually look for, so I can document it.
Yes, chat support, not Bill.com poor, and email support. Both Beanworks, I forgot. I think he said I just need to,
I always like using chat because then I can
Can't
print
read
the
my
dialogue and save it and then have something to refer to or something to give them if they screw it up again.
Right. Beanworks is, if you look at the reviews and stuff like that, they're real big on their support. I mean, they are just, you know, one thing none of them have until you get up into the enterprise level is the Gather W9s.
Oh, you would
Things like
think that
You got to
would
be the big boy. So I was trying to find something and say, okay, how about me as a firm looking at me as a client? Am I not worth it? Even if each individual client only has a couple bills here or there. And that's what MineralTree and Beanworks is finally, because MineralTree's been around for a long time, and they had huge minimum fees, and they're knocking all that down. And so with MineralTree also, you can go in and see see all your client work at the same time. Bill.com, you're going in and out of every client. So they all have positives and negatives. So,
How about blogs? Do they all have blogs that you can keep up with the developments?
you know, I do look for that, and I didn't see anything, you know, like features that you want.
Well, usually,
Yeah.
you know, they'll use
Like
it as
a
kind of a way to
community?
get feedback. They'll have a blog as to things they're
Yeah.
working on or new improvements or these whiz-bang things that are coming out.
I didn't see anything
So you
on
can kind of stay focused on what they're doing.
Yeah, let me, I'm definitely gonna put that in here. Insert, forum, community
Blogs.
input,
forum, blog.
forum.
I mean, like QBO has a blog. You can go and see what's.
Forums. Yeah. I really like when developers do that because it doesn't do. I have talked to every one of these clients at least 3 times, if not 4. Because I just, you know, because I'll be on a demo with one and I'll go, hey, what about?
Tell them what the other one's doing, so hopefully they'll put it on the drawing board.
So I have other smart sheets in here where I'm slowly starting to compare different kinds of apps. If you have access to this sheet, feel free to, you know, if you're doing your own demo, put in your own row, answer your own question. You know, let's use this as this is a lot of work just at this level. So anybody else wants to add, do it. So all right, that's mine.
Thank you. Awesome. That's totally awesome.
And how do you end?
That Bill's XT Bill, you know that one Sarah? That Bill Whitson is like working for them now. He was a big shot with books.
You drowning? Sounds like you're drowning.
Huh?
I think Steve Allen's playing around.
What?
Will you repeat what you said? Because it sounded like you were drowning.
That XT Bills or
Yeah.
That's Bill Whitson works with them. He was a big shot with Quick Intuit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They just sold it
Oh, really?
January 1.
Oh, wow.
Now Circulus.
So I don't know if he's still with them though, but I know he was at Connect, and I talked to him. Like I introduced you to him. I said, "Oh, this guy, remember?"
Yeah. Let's go to, yeah, I'm just, well, I say sold. I got them confused. They're rebranding.
Ah.
February 20th, XT Bills has announced the rebranding of its small business accounts payable automation platform as of March 1st. Until now, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, they've been around since 2006. Okay. Well, that's better than a sale. Sorry about that. That's important. Well, one thing about having a spreadsheet like this is that there's so many little details that, you know.
That go in and out. Yeah, you can have them right next to each other and compare.
And some of the exclamation points I have is because I can't read my handwriting. I just filled it out while I was on my demo. But whatever.
Awesome. Thank you. So let's talk about what happened this week with Amazon servers and QBox.
The typo.
The typo. Can you believe that half of the internet went down over that?
You know, I was thinking, oh, QBO was cool. They weren't effective, but the Amazon servers are used by a lot of companies for images. Well, guess what are images? Your attachments. And guess who QBO uses for their attachment?
How long was it down?
Oh, 5 hours at least.
Oh, because I know I had a hard time getting to zero. I mean, I was in there, and then I couldn't reach it. I mean, it's zero on Amazon servers.
I don't know. But what we were talking about before Gina started recording was how impressed we were with QBox, that as soon as they realized really what was going on, because of course they're fielding phone calls like crazy, they got an email out. And he was so funny because he has a new website going live. I forget when he said it was going live, where they're going to be able to have like online chat, and he'll be able to send a message out. They could have sent out a banner.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
Could have told them what was going on, and it was like, just wasn't done yet.
Instead of just
I've never
letting
seen anybody do that like they're doing it. I mean,
No, he's
awesome.
very proactive. Well, that's why he says his support's pretty quiet. That's a sign of a really solid program. But
Well, it is. It is. And they're always there when you need them. I cannot believe it,
I know. Well, he may be on his way to pick up his kid from soccer, but he's going to pick up the phone.
Absolutely.
Oh shoot, those are the wrong notes. I was looking at where are my notes from? Oh yeah, here we go. From our meeting, he's been looking at Intuit's financial statements, and because they're publicly traded. And so, we're all worried about desktop going away.
It's not going away.
It was very interesting. He said that from the last published 2016 information, he noted that 2014 QBO had estimated 683,000 users. For 2016, that number was estimated to now be 1.5 million, steadily increasing. So we all know, we've all heard that. Total revenue online for 2014 was 415 billion. In 2016, the number was estimated to be 657. So QBO, moneymaker.
Good. We know it's
For
doing.
desktop, the sales of desktop units was estimated to be 1.1 million for 2014 and 956 units for 2016. 1,000, which was an increase over 2015. So 2015, they sold more desktop than they did in 14. So if you added to those numbers 326,000 users of the subscription desktop product, and again 326, because the people in the subscription are buying it every year.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to. Well, wait, I'll say something.
Okay. Let me just jump to that. So total revenue for desktop is listed as almost 1.7 billion in 2014 and 1.6 billion in 2016. Okay. So what that says is there's still substantially more users of desktop than QBO. The number of new QBO users continues to increase, but the desktop sales is not significantly decreasing and actually increased from 15 to 16. Without any significant change to the growth of QBO and reduction in desktop users, the anticipated runway for eliminating desktop continues to be a minimum of 5 to 7 years.
Right. It keeps getting extended out.
Yeah.
Except for Mac.
Let's go.
Right. But Mac, they can run the desktop version on a Mac if they want to.
Except that they're
Parallels
discontinuing
or
it.
in another,
They're discontinuing it in 2018?
2019, right? 3 years for support?
67.
I thought it was 19.
May of 2019, they dropped support of Mac because it's 2016 Mac.
But that just means from now on, there's nothing really going to be added to it.
Yeah, so there will be no new versions of Mac. 216 is it.
Yeah.
Right. And they're probably not going to update it at all.
No, they
Unless
Well, not probably, they won't.
thing that they have to take care of. So
They won't.
Here's the question. QuickBooks on a Mac versus QuickBooks Online. How much of a loss would it be just to go to QuickBooks Online with it?
Well, it depends on if there's any features in online you have to have.
Yeah, it's basically the same issue with Tina saying that she has a client that really can't be serviced using online. The Mac version of desktop is pretty much almost identical to the Windows version with the exception of a few aesthetic things. I think what happened was basically the Mac version was it wasn't developed by Intuit. They actually hired a third-party Apple people to develop it. That's why it never looked identical to desktop, and that's why it was always so far behind in catching up with the new things that they were putting in the Windows version. And I think they just got sick of wanting to pay out for the development of it.
yeah.
And they're just trying to push people to either go online. The downside of this for the Mac people is, because honestly, I have had somebody that attempted to do running QuickBooks on a Mac using like Parallels, blah, 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 all that stuff. And it was really sluggish. And it was depending on how new of a Mac you have, that might not be an option for you.
Brand new Mac.
Yeah, it might not be an option for you. So
I actually tested that scenario out because I was getting words that were like, hey, don't get too attached. We got some news I can't share with you, kind of, jargon. Right. And so I actually went out and I bought Parallels and I got a software a license rather for Microsoft OS, installed on my brand new Mac, 8 gigs of RAM, hot stuff Mac ProBook, and I could not get that sucker. Every time I touched my Mac, it was screaming hot. I literally couldn't keep my finger on the Mac.
Yeah, and the point is too, you've heard exactly what has to be done. It's not just, you have to buy Parallels. You have to buy a license of Windows.
Yeah.
And then you have to buy the desktop product. So you are talking probably close to $800.
Oh, yeah.
Just to be able to run that versus
buy the software.
Well, here's the other option: going online, right, or buying a $250 refurbished Windows laptop and just put the $180 desktop on that, and for $400 be done with it.
Right.
Well, and then if you've got to host it. So for my client, the whole network is a Mac environment. We've got, 5 users that need to be able to get into it, 3 of which concurrently. So it's a server-based operation, and he's a construction guy. So, there's like job costing up the wazoo that really is just not going to be a pleasant fit for me and him on QBO.
Yeah.
So, it's just not going to work. We could do it. There are workarounds. So I just don't want to go there.
Yeah.
So we're looking at other options. We just got a demo of something called Computer Ease, and I just got a link to start playing in the sandbox of that. So I'm just now digging my feet in there to see what it's going to be like.
So what does Computer Ease?
Something like that, I probably would do something like maybe, does he have to have multiple users in there?
Yeah.
At the same time?
Yep.
Sounds like you said 3 usually. Or
at least 3 at one time.
Yeah.
And sometimes up to 5.
Sometimes the easiest thing is just to say, do your accounting on a Windows computer, but then everybody's got to do that.
You can't, because you got 3 people on it at one time.
They need 5 Windows computers.
So we'd have to host it, and the hosting gets really ridiculous.
The hosting does get ridiculous, yeah.
Not to mention you're looking at these little, connection windows that sometimes don't work, and if you've got crappy, connection to the internet because of the satellite that you're trying to hook to because you live out in the boonies.
Yeah. It's just the good news about it all is that we have far enough notice.
Got it.
Like we know that there's 2016 was the last one, so use it for as long as you can, right. Until it stops working.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows that there has been very little major changes, seriously, that has happened in, Linda, how many years with desktop? There has been very minor changes since they came up with like the document manager thing.
Yeah.
That was pretty much the big thing. And what was that, 12? Since then,
that's when they went to the all black screen.
Yeah, since then there really hasn't been that many major changes. So I bet you they could continue to run that
Yeah.
If they just can't get support on it, oh well, just see how
Well,
long
but
it
they
runs.
can't do, now does payroll link to the Apple, to the Mac version?
We use Intuit Online Payroll, and we just export
Oh,
into
and
it,
you
and it
can
works
use
just
that
fine.
whether or not the support expires or not, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, my client that bought QuickBooks 2016 for Mac, he'll be able to run it indefinitely. Got a photography studio, so.
Yeah.
So Tina, what were you looking at? What are you interested in?
So my client, he's got a contact of a guy that he's been on this software called Computer Ease. I just stuck the link in the chat.
Okay.
And I've only gotten a demo of it. It sounds powerful, but you know, the sales guys, they sell you all this great, but when you actually start digging into it, that's when you feel like, okay, is this going to work or not? It reminds me a lot of Mass 90 Sage product.
So it's an accounting program.
It's a full-blown accounting, construction, job costing. I mean, it's pretty powerful. But you know, it's not as clean and easy to use as I would say QuickBooks is. So I need to kind of pop through it and just see how much I can play in it. I played in it for, I don't know, about an hour or so yesterday, and it's so different. It's going to be a really big learning curve. So
Whatever it is that they do, whether they do Computer Ease, whether they do Bill Quick, which would be an option.
Bill Quick, and I don't think Bill Quick's going to be a good fit for them. So
The other option would be QBO and Notify.
I don't know about Notify.
Sarah Prevost is a big Notify
Oh,
person.
yeah,
So, and that's specific for the construction company.
it is.
That's it does job costing. I don't know what the price would be for them.
Well, see, that's the other thing I can't stand. I can't. We were talking about nickel and diamond on the whole, billing
Right.
thing. And I want my accounting software to do what I need to do. I don't want to have to be buying all these different apps and components to make it work. It pisses me off. So I just can't go there with that. It's like, let me just look at this and see what we're going to pay.
Well, what happens with the QBO and Notify? The client stays in Notify, and you get to do what you need to do in QBO, and your files stay clean.
I don't know.
Just a thought.
Yep. Is it like KNOW? No, or is it NO?
No, it's KNOW.
All right.
We had,
But
yeah, I
Sarah
thought we had
Prevost
them here.
The one to contact.
We had a demo. I'll have to
Yeah.
find that and put the link in.
I'll just search it in YouTube. I'll find it. I find your stuff easy because I'm subscribed.
Good.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
But she has all kinds of stuff on it. I think she's taught classes on it. And that very well might, as long as it'll run on a Mac, I don't know.
Well, I'm talking QBO and Notify. And
God.
they could keep their Mac.
Because it's just a web browser, right?
Yes,
Yeah, I figured as much.
yes, yes. So
So anyway, so that's my,
and 3 years to figure it out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much my contractor's outgrown QuickBooks anyway, so the timing of it is, as harsh as it is right now, it's time for him to move on into something else, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always nice that they're willing to look ahead of time so you don't get this
It is nice that we got this.
terrible crunch.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. So we have a couple more minutes left. Is there anything anyone wants to talk about that I missed?
well, the only thing is I'm really excited about helping my daughter, who founded the Holistic Chamber, to shift the work to a new bookkeeper accountant that knows Chamber Master, so that the data is not being entered 3 times. The
Awesome.
current
Did they find somebody?
They've got a couple. We've got a couple of people. From my posts on Facebook, there was a lady up in Oklahoma, Minnesota, which is just north of the Iowa border. It's between Iowa and Minneapolis, St. Paul, and she works with the Chamber of Commerce up there. And I think actually Chamber Master is up there in that neck of the woods.
Cool.
And she's also found a lady down here. And they both seem quite well, but I just realized that what she's doing is she'll come out, and we have a schedule. She's coming out Monday. She's going to be on my laptop and on Chamber Master, and I'll be on my desktop on QuickBooks, and I'm going to make a duplicate copy of the data file so we can play with it, and it won't be on QBox, the duplicate copy. It'll be just on my hard drive, and we'll design the system because and we'll then the other thing is she'll see anything that becomes a problem that is tricky to do. She'll see that it's tricky to do and then say, oh, well, we could change that and we could change that. Yeah, okay, well, because I'm trying to calculate, and it looks like they pay out during the year $8,000 in commissions to, their 25 chapter presidents every month. And this is taking the current bookkeeper, and this is why she's putting everything from Chamber Master into QuickBooks again. So she says she needs that to pay them their commissions. And we're thinking, no, we can get a report out of Chamber Master and do the commissions from there and just enter them as a check in QuickBooks. And we're trying to find another way to pay those. Right now, the current bookkeeper is paying for QuickBooks payroll so she can do direct deposit of these commission checks and that's costing $800 a year. So they're paying $800 a year. This is without the time, with no time. And the amount of time is like 16 hours a month. So $800 to pay out $8,000.
So you should look at what Sarah's smart sheet and see if there's another bill pay program that would be cheap.
Right. I may go look at Bean Counter. I may look at one of the two bookkeeper accountants that's interested is local from Santa Monica, and we told her about QBox, and she didn't know about it, but she went and checked it out, and she's already signed up for it for a lot of her clients. It's like, yeah, if you didn't know about that, that's just such an, and then to get those little notices, it's like those little notices make you feel so well taken care of, So, so in other words, the way this is, for every $10 that she pays out, she's paying $1 to pay out in processing costs to pay out $10. Doesn't that seem odd? That seems high to me.
Well,
so and some of the people, she's writing checks for $2.20.
you're talking, you need to set a policy that you only pay out $25 or more, or whatever minimum amount you decide.
Or quarterly or something.
That will help for sure. But if she's direct depositing, she's not paying for checks. She's not paying for stamps. She's not paying for any of that. So there is
that's true. That's
some
true.
kind of cost associated with getting those direct deposits.
That's right. Stamps, checks,
Paper cuts.
Paper cuts, workers' comp, right? And time to get to the post office.
But I think, because what she wants to do is shift from having 1,000 members to having 10,000 members. And if she did it with the system they have now,
she would have to hire a posse of bookkeepers.
Yeah, she'd probably have to have 2 full-time bookkeepers. And there's no reason to put details into QuickBooks because they can be, that can be handled out of Chamber Master.
Right.
So that can become their sales and their AR and everything there. And then we just lump sum it into QuickBooks through a clearing account.
Yep.
Like about the clearing account. So, yeah. So.
All righty. Anything else from anybody? Any parting words?
Great to see y'all again.
Good to see you,
I'm glad you're feeling better, Tina.
Yeah, don't be a stranger.
Sammy?
She's doing great. She's with her dad today. She was out of school today, so
wonderful.
we're going to go visit Grandma.
Oh,
Great,
nice.
Great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, we miss her too.
We miss her too.
Yeah. Where's Penny?
She's behind her.
Oh, okay.
She's been up and
Walks
down.
here on her little cushion.
Yeah, her little butt.
Got it. My dog, I think my dog
Oh yeah, you're doing
has
the
not gotten sick the last day or two.
good.
I think
Awesome.
finally
Did you find
the
a blender?
phone, and I have to make her food, tuna fish and shredded hash brown potatoes. I have to mix them with this powder, and it's a complicated recipe. You'd think I was Wolfgang Puck putting everything.
Find a blender?
Mix it together. I gotta have somebody do a video of it. It would be hysterically funny because I mix it together with a hand beater, and then I put it in a blender, and it's hard to get I gotta go buy a new blender, the kind that go down in. But she seems to be a little better. So that
Easier on her tummy.
yeah.
Things we do for our fur babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't do it for myself. I thought.
I think I've seen. I think Costco has pet prescriptions too. I think I've seen them at the pharmacy.
Yeah. Pets are always giving people drugs anyway.
Yeah, well, this is a weird one. I can sympathize with people that have this problem, because people have it too.
Right.
I said, why can't we just get one of those little pills with a camera and drop it in and
See what's happening?
until she gets sick? They don't have any dogs, he said. Okay.
All righty, everybody. I'm going to close. We'll see you all next week. Same time, same place.
Bye.